Hi, I'm Aaron Marcus, and here is the second video I promised to send. This will teach you how to find a great agent both locally as well as in a distant market if you're ready to expand. So the very first thing, I just wanted to very quickly go over some of the different industry professionals and tell you primarily the differences between agents and managers. Um, Managers will they will work with a very, very few select group of people. If it's an individual manager, he or she might have 15 people that they take care of. They're looking at your bigger picture in your career, helping you decide which projects are right for you, helping to connect you with the right acting classes in your area, the right headshot photographers. They will also connect you with the right agents. If it's a big management company, maybe there are 50 actors that are managed by the entire company. An agent could have hundreds of people in their roster. Let me also just tell you that agents, especially in smaller markets, in some ways really can work like a manager. And they are looking out for your longer career and having more of a personal connection with you. So that can vary. I guess one of the other key differences is that the agents negotiate for you. Managers are not supposed to be doing that. And anyhow, they get paid differently. Managers typically will get a 15% commission fee. Agents, on the other hand, and I'm going to tell you about them a little bit later, they get a different type of fee set up, and I'll go into more specifics later. Casting directors, just so you know, those are the people you audition for TV commercials, television shows, feature films, training films, radio spots. And the art and creative directors, those are people at advertising agencies who sometimes make the final decision as to which actor gets hired for the TV commercial or radio spot, or which model gets hired for the commercial modeling ad. So what agents do and don't do. What they do is they will submit you for a job. They will also give you information about the project. Like I said, they are the ones who actually negotiate on your behalf. They also help make sure that you get paid for the job, and they're also there to help you with any kind of problems that you have, whether it's on the set or even if it's not an actual booking situation. The key thing to keep in mind is agents do not get you work. And I know that sounds a little bit strange because you're thinking, well, of course they get me. Actually, it's you. You are the one who has to book the job. The agent can promote you, the agent can submit you, the agent can talk you up, but you're the one who actually has to book the job. So let me tell you now very specifically how agents get paid. The way that they get paid is they take a percentage of any booking that you get. Now, the amounts will vary depending on different situations, and I'll explain it to you. If you are non-union, you are not a member of SAG-AFTRA, which is the main union for actors. Typically, you're going to pay your agent a 20% commission fee from every booking that you get. That can vary, but I've never heard of anybody asking for more than 20%. If it is a modeling job, typically you're going to pay your agent a 20% commission fee. However, if you are a member of SAG-AFTRA, the Actors Union, as of today, and that could change, but as of today, we are only allowed to pay our agent a 10% commission fee. That's what the union has negotiated with agents who are considered franchised. They are called signatory agents. They've signed contracts and they've agreed to abide by union rules. There is one exception to the rule of you only pay an agent when it comes to a percentage of a booking. And here's the one exception. In today's time period, a lot of agents, if not, almost every agent either has their own website or they ask their actors and models to be on a different website. And there are many different companies out there that have websites that agents use, and that way they don't have to maintain the website and they can still submit the talent. If you are asked to be on the website, you will pay a fee, and that is not based on any kind of percentage. That is out-of-pocket expense, and so it's a decision you have to make. But I can tell you, if you really want your agent to be able to promote you well, I would recommend paying to be on the website. So when you are doing some searches, and I'm going to show you where to find agents, but once you've gone to the agent's website, here are some of the things that you want to be looking for. Number one, you want to find out, are they asking for any upfront fees aside from being on an agent's website? But if they're asking for, monthly retainer, if they're asking for money just to sign up with them, that would make me a little bit nervous. Are you being told that you can work anywhere in the world? And I'm not saying that that's not true, but I can tell you it's really difficult to work outside of your particular area unless you're in a position where you can get to another location very easily. But if you live on the East Coast and you're trying to find representation on the West Coast of the US, it's going to be really tough because you have to be there. Agents want to see you. You've got to be able to audition at a moment's notice. And once again, there are exceptions to the rule. There are time periods where sometimes actors and models might travel to one of the coasts during the summer and maybe spend 2 months just auditioning. But then again, you are there. So anyhow, typically what you're going to want to do is try to find a local agent to get started with and try to get as much local work as you possibly can. And if you find that you're getting a lot of work and things are going well, you're building up a great portfolio, your resume is really strong, and you want to start looking into distant markets, great. And that would be a great time to do that. Are you being promised anything? Are you offered guarantees? Look, I've done over 1,200 jobs so far. But there are no guarantees I'm ever going to book another job for the rest of my life. So let me just tell you, nobody can promise, nobody can guarantee anything in this industry. You might be told you've got a great look, I think you're very talented. Great, those are really nice things to hear. Guarantees, nah, I'd ask for the money up front, and you're not going to get it that way. Are you being told that you're going to start booking right away? Once again, you've got to be really logical. You've got to be honest with yourself. This is like a business, like any other kind of business. And, you get started off slowly. And not to say that for some people, things just happen overnight. Of course, those things do happen. It's rare. It's the exception to the rule. It's work. And the more knowledgeable you are, the better materials that you have, the more that you have trained, the more that you've read about the acting and modeling industry, the better the chances are that you will have success. But, to think that you're going to walk in and start booking jobs left and right when you first get started, once again, I'm not saying it can't happen, but for most people, it takes a while for things to really start hopping. When you do visit the website of a lot of different agents, look at the photos that they have. Especially for the people in your category. Do these look like professional shots? Do they look like photographs that grab your attention, even if you don't know anything about photography? Do the eyes speak to you? Or do they look like, somebody just took some quick photographs in somebody's backyard and they just plastered them up on the website? Also, do they explain exactly what they are looking for? There are some agencies, certainly in the fashion world, they will tell you very upfront, you've got to have a certain height, you've got to have a certain types of measurements in order to be considered. So anyhow, check that out and see if there are any specific things that they are requiring, and then see if you have them or not. And if not, there are plenty of great agents out there and you can find other people. Here's a key thing. How do the agents want you to contact them? Typically, they'll have that on the agent's website. So if they say, email me a JPEG of your headshot, then do that. The other thing you could always do, and I think it's a good idea, I would send a headshot and or a comp card through the mail, not just emails. It's unusual. It doesn't happen as much. Certainly, it's a lot more expensive, but I think it makes you stand out even more. But the key thing is follow their instructions. Is the agency local, or do they claim to have agencies all across the United States? And look, there are plenty of agencies that are bi-coastal. They have agencies in buildings in New York. They have offices in in LA. And that can be really, really good. If you're just getting started, once again, I think you're probably better off starting with somebody local. But if they do have offices in different areas, that could be really helpful to you, because assuming that you're starting to book locally with the agency, well, why wouldn't they feel comfortable in sending you to their other contacts in other parts of the country? Also, do they describe to you very clearly what parts of the business do they work in? Do they submit people from commercial modeling jobs? Is it strictly acting? Is it strictly modeling? Do they do voiceover work? Do they do industrials, which are training films? So just have a really good sense of what the agency does and what they offer. And here's probably the most important thing. Use your gut. Use your intuition. I can tell you, if something doesn't feel right to you, if somebody is pressuring you, if somebody's asking for upfront money, and it just doesn't feel right to you, trust your instincts. Okay, so here's some very specific ways of trying to find agents. On my website, howtomodel.com, it's completely free. I have a listing of agencies throughout the United States. And I make it very clear, I'm not recommending any of them. That doesn't mean that I'm saying negative things about them, but I check out every agency that I list there, but I certainly haven't worked with all of them. So I can share with you the contact information, and then you check them out and look through this list of questions. And you'll know very, very clearly as to whether this is an agency you're interested in or not. There's a gentleman, Bob Perdue. He has a website. He gives out lots of modeling information, and he also has a listing of agencies that you can check out. There's also an association, and you can just go to agentsassociation.com, and you'll find agents. These are going to be mostly agents in New York and LA. You will find them in some other larger markets. But anyhow, it's just another way of finding some agents that you can potentially contact. Also, the union office. If you go to the sagafter.org website, and here's the exact link for you, you will find agents that are signatories who have signed contracts with the union. Some of them represent commercial models as well. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in the union in order for them to begin working with you. I am assuming they probably will want you to join the union at some point, but if they are representing models as well, there is no union for modeling, so they could always submit you for commercial modeling work. And the other way to find agents is, ask people in the industry. Try to go to industry events. You can do extra work and ask some of the other actors who are some of the agents in the area and check them out. There's also, and I don't have it listed in the PowerPoint, Women in Film and Video. They have a lot of really good meetings all throughout the United States, and it's another great way to network with people. Okay, so let's say you've gone to a website, you've submitted information, they're interested in meeting with you. How do you best prepare before your meeting? So certainly by going to the website, you will be very familiar with the agency. You're going to get the names of the people in the department that you want to be working in. And so you are, able to walk in there and you will know who these people are. I would even ask them, what kind of things do they want you to bring? Do they want you to bring a headshot, resume, commercial modeling work, portfolio? Are they going to want you to read a monologue? You can even ask, do you want a comedic monologue? Do you want something that's more serious? However they want to do it. Or are they just going to give you commercial copy to read? Maybe the sides to a TV commercial. Whatever they want. Just be prepared. And like I said, plan on bringing in a headshot and resume, and also bring paper, and a pen, something to write with. Give yourself plenty of time getting there. You do not want to be late. And just a little bit of a side note, and I was going to mention this later, but I just thought about it now. Just make sure that your cell phone is turned off. Don't put it on vibrate. Uh, Shut it off completely during that meeting. It's not good if you're, getting distracted and interrupting a really good meeting. Okay, some of the things you want to ask during the meeting itself. One of them, and this will be really helpful to you, how do they see you being cast? What kinds of characters, what kinds of roles, what kinds of projects would they see you being cast in? So that way, even if it doesn't work out and you find yourself not working with that agency, having that information can be invaluable to you. Also, assuming that they want you to actually sign with them, you can ask them, do the photos that you have work? Or are they going to want you to put together new photos? I would also ask to see some of the headshots and or comp cards of the people in your category, of the people they represent. And maybe you can get some really good ideas from some of these materials. See if they will critique your photos. See if they can give you some feedback as to specifically what they like, what they don't like. And like I said before, just be very professional. Make sure the cell phone is turned off. You just don't want to do anything that's going to distract people during the meeting. Here's some also really key things to be doing during the meeting itself. Look, you're going to be scared. I can't imagine that you're not going to be scared. It's nerve-wracking, to do something like this. But you want to exude confidence. You don't want them to see your nervousness. I'm not saying don't be nervous, just don't let them see it. And what you want to do is, and I use this same kind of thought process when I'm auditioning as well. I walk in there, I'm exuding this confidence, and I have this feeling of, hey, if I book this job, that's great. If I don't, that's great too. I'll book something else. If you want to work with me, you want to represent me, that would be great. Love to work with you. And if not, that's fine too, because I will find another agent to represent me. That's the kind of feeling you want to have. And if you're just getting started, don't start backpedaling, sell yourself short, start talking about, well, I really haven't done that much in the industry, I'm just getting started. Look, they know that. They're going to talk to you. They're going to have a really good sense of what your professional track record is. But the key thing is they want to see people who are showing confidence in themselves, people who believe in themselves, so that they will believe in you as well. Also be prepared to answer some personal questions, and you can play around with this at home way before the meeting happens. It might be anything from, so what do you like to do? What's your daytime job? Well, what are you studying in school? What was your favorite trip? Do you like to travel? Don't give, one-word answers. Do you like to travel? Yeah, I do. To share stories with them. You might even want to try, and I don't know if they would be listed there, but let's say there's a specific agent that you're going to be meeting with. Maybe you can go to LinkedIn, look the person up, see what kinds of things they say about themselves. Maybe you've got some kind of connection. Maybe you have the same kind of hobbies or interests, or some people in common. Learn as much as you can, and because what they are looking for is, especially if you're just getting started, they know you're just getting started. They want to learn who you are. They want to learn more about you as a human. So share it, let them see it. And, you don't want to whine. You don't want to tell them, oh, the traffic was horrible today getting here. It was supposed to be a 20-minute drive and it took me 50 minutes. They don't want to hear anything negative. Even if they ask, hey, how are you? You could be feeling sick and have 103 temperature. It's great. Hey, I feel wonderful. Really, they want to hear positive things from you. And once again, use your intuition, trust yourself. You're going to know whether somebody feels right to you or not. Okay, so after the meeting, you want to send a thank you note. I would do it as soon as possible. Let the agent know that you really enjoyed meeting him or her. When you do a follow-up, especially if it is an email, I typically don't like to send things to agents or most industry people, but especially agents on Mondays or Fridays. Typically, Monday, they're just getting back to work. They're probably slammed with stuff. Friday, they're getting ready to get out of there. They want to start their vacation. So typically, I like to send mail, or if I need to call somebody, I like to do it Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And look, if the agency is not interested in working with you, which is very possible, maybe they loved you, they love what you did, but maybe they already represent somebody who is right in your, category. What I would do, and I know this might sound a little odd, but I would ask them, would they recommend another agency? And look, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but you might be surprised just by asking that little question. They might say, you know what, there is another agency in town that I think would be perfect for you. And they might not have offered that information if you didn't ask. So feel free to ask. And here's another really key thing. No matter how your meeting goes, whether it was great, whether it was horrible, you walk out of there with pride. Look, you accomplished doing this. You made it through the meeting. And you should feel really proud of yourself, and make sure, no matter what is said to you, what takes place, you don't want to burn any bridges. And look, I can tell you from personal experience, I do lots of workshops and lots of mentoring sessions with people, and I hear lots of people who talk about, but the person said this to me, and I'm not going to take it, and I said something back to them. Let me just tell you, you never know when you're going to run into these people again. It's a big world out there, but in many ways it's a very small community. And so, and I'm not saying you never fight with people in the industry, you never have words. Sometimes that will happen, but you save those for a last resort, because somebody that, maybe things didn't work out now, who knows? Maybe in 2 months, things will work out really well. Maybe you met somebody today at your meeting who just had a really tough night with a family member. They're in a bad mood, and they're taking it out on you. Who knows? Whatever it is, don't burn any bridges. So this is the information that I wanted to send to you about how to find an agent, whether it's local, whether it's in a distant market. Really prepare yourself for your meeting. If you have any questions at all, here is my contact information. And like I always tell people, I love trying to help steer people in the right direction, help guide them, help be their mentor. And so really feel free to contact me, and I'd be more than happy to do my best to try to help you. I'm Aaron Marcus, and I look forward to talking with you real soon.